Yes, the fourth stop on the Professional Bowlers Tour is Grand Prairie, Texas. Standing room only crowds await the start of the finals of the $200,000 Quaker State Open at the Forum Bowl. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chris Schenkel. Welcome to our telecast. There is cowboy mania in this area, but this afternoon this is the Super Bowl of bowling. We have 5 wonderful champions, one hoping to become one this afternoon, our tournament leader. So let's take a look at our top 4 seeded players. In the number 1 match, it'll be Dave D'Entremont of Ohio. He'll be going against Stockton, California's colorful bowler, Walter Ray Williams, Jr. Then the winner will bowl our reigning king of the hill, Ron Williams of Fort Worth, who earned his way into the number 2 spot. Then we'll see Steve Hoskins of Tarpon Springs, Florida. He is our tournament leader. Then, of course, the king of the hill match. It could get a little confusing today, but our king of bowling, Nelson Burton Jr., can explain it thoroughly.
Well, thank you, Chris. A little confusing. However, Ron Williams is the story. He won the AC Delco Classic, the opening tournament of the year. He's been undefeated as king of the hill, and he's in the championship round this week. That sets up a couple of scenarios. If Ron Williams wins today, he bowls himself as king of the hill. Can't lose. That's not what happens. Mike Albee, who won the Las Vegas tournament last week, will come in and bowl Ron Williams in a rematch. However, if Ron loses in the championship round, he'll come back and try to defend his King of the Hill championship round against today's Quaker State champion and a $15,000 bonus for Ron Williams. Now, there's a lot of money at stake for all the players, Chris, and let's see what happens.
Clear as a bell, Bo. $200,000 total, 41, 21, 12, 5, and for 4th place, in other words, the loser of our first match about to start, $10,000. Here we go, the handshake, head-to-head competition. 2 big fellas. They could play for the Bills or the Cowboys with their size. But they're professional bowlers, and Dave D'Entremont, at whom we're looking, is 6'1", 215 pounds, 31-year-older. 1 championship to his credit, winning it in Fresno. Shot number 1. Not 21.
You're right, Chris. Lack of ball speed there. Tentative on the first shot, ball drifts high, and this is what we saw quite a bit last week. The 4-6-7. Best thing for David to do is take out the 4-7, forget about it, and go on with the match.
Okay, open frame, 9-pin count, and 6-time champion, 5-time World Horseshoe pitching champion, Walter Ray Williams, Jr. of Stockton, 6'2", 180 pounds, 33 years old.
Come on.
Oh, yeah. So he's almost a paradox. He is so talented, yet he hasn't won in a while.
You're right, Chris, and you look at this style, you'll wonder why he hasn't won. He has as good a natural ability, takes the ball outside a little bit, but watch him wrap it back underneath as he comes through. Right over the second arrow, solid in the pocket. And as you said, Chris, hasn't won in the last 27 starts in the States.
Since 1987. And look at that beautiful double right here at the Forum Bowl. Second in the Firestone, 1989, to a local hero, Del Ballard. And now here is D'Entremont. After that open frame, let's watch him come back. Crossover strike. He'll take it.
Well, Chris, he gets a good break. Now you look at the big, powerful Dave D'Entremont. Takes the full approach. Heels hanging off the back of the approach. Look at this high backswing, and look at his wrist. Point in this position, driving through, everything straight towards the foul line. A little soft again with this shot. Crosses over and gets a great break. The Brooklyn strike. Let's see if he can capitalize here in the 3rd.
Now he's faced with another split.
Well, ball speed's the answer. He's looking down on the approach, and you see with that big hook, he's playing as much room as he can, but now he needs ball speed to hold it back. Needs to get the ball to the right of the 3-pin, have the ball deflect into the 10.
Beautiful. Standing room only crowd. 17th year for the Quaker State Open. 19th consecutive year that we have come here to telecast a tournament. hosted by a great lady, Jeannie Halsey. Three-bagger for Walter Ray Williams. He has a unique arrangement with a special friend which provides him certain incentives during tournaments.
Well, I really like Chinese food. My girlfriend's not real crazy about it. So we made a deal that if I were to bowl 200 games or not miss a spare in a block, I get a Chinese food. So I've been eating a lot of Chinese food this year.
Oh, so 3 in a row, 4th frame.
Flip it. Come on, carry.
Robbed. The intensity is there, Bo, in this champion.
You're right, Chris. He's very aggressive in this match. Watch the head pin. The ball's going to impact the head pin. It'll go to the left sideboard, and it'll scout, try to come back across, and just gets blocked out by the 6 laying in the channel. Prevents him from getting a 4th consecutive strike. However, with a conversion, he would lead by 30 through 4 frames.
Walter Ray Williams Jr. Bo set in the lead by 30. More of this first match after this.
Hi. You know why Quaker State asked me to be their spokesman? Because I'm tough. And Quaker State is tough, too. Tough on wear, tough on sludge. And if you use Quaker State in your new car's engine, they'll guarantee it for 250,000 miles or 10 years. In writing, Quaker State is one tough motor oil. So naturally they asked me, because I'm tough. I am tough, aren't I?
I just love raisins in cereal.
I'm afraid you don't.
If I say I like raisins, I do.
No, I really don't think so.
Yeah, well, what do you call this, pal?
Not this.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran?
Hey, if you really loved raisins, you'd be eating Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
So, you really think you got something here, eh, buddy?
2 scoops of our sweetest, plumpest, juiciest raisins.
What was I thinking?
Kellogg's Raisin Bran. If you love raisins, this is your cereal.
Now on, there's 2 scoops, eh, Duke?
Yes, we're in the all-American city of Grand Prairie, Texas. Ever-growing, ever-friendly. Dave d'Entremont footwork.
Takes the full approach, 16 plus feet, hanging off the edge, 5 going on. He's doing a little self-psyching. Spare here, he maintains a 42-pin lead.
And here, deep in the heart of Texas, d'Entremont is up again.
David must start throwing some strikes. Has a potential 227. Takes the full grip, barely gets his fingers into the finger holes. He can stretch that index finger, and one of the great wrist actions out here. Trouble. Now, 2-8-10, Chris, but 2 of the 4 players in the championship round are tournament leader Hoskins and d'Entremont play the big hook ball. And historically, the big hook ball players have struggled on this championship pair. And it's proving correct so far today. As d'Entremont opens one more time.
3 opens here in his first head-to-head match. And Sylvia, David's wife, just as disappointed as her husband. He had a wry smile. Sweet lady.
Well, he seems like he's down on himself, and that can happen when you're trailing by 50-some pins. A great opponent like Walter Ray, and you can see the perspiration on his forehead. He knows he's in trouble.
Nearing now the end of our first match in Stockton, California's Walter Ray Williams in a comfortable lead.
Ninjas do 2 things very well. They react blows them away like a ninja. The AMF Ninja, available today.
A kiss? No, I'm sorry. I don't think so.
Oh, no, please, no, baby, no.
Oh, not a good idea. Not now.
No, that time.
Fight morning breath with Scope. Scope has 2 powerful ingredients that kill 90% of the bacteria that cause morning breath.
Your kiss is ready. Pucker up.
Right on the kisser.
Come on.
Kiss morning breath goodbye with Scope.
Give me that kiss.
When these guys get teed off, the battle really begins. 4 of golf's greatest play their sports big money showdown, the Senior Skins Game, next on ABC Sports.
That's right, the Skins Game follows us right now. If he were a golfer, he'd be in the Skins Game. We call him a riverboat gambler. He looks like the late Errol Flynn, young version, of course. Walter Ray Williams, Jr., 1986 Player of the Year, in the lead. And a 4-pin on the right lane. He was 3rd this year at Phoenix. His opponent, Dave D'Entremont, finished 30th. This is our 4th stop on our tour of 16 cities on our winter tour. Over $3 million in prize money for these pros. So Walter leads by 53, and here's another leader, Nelson Burton.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Ron Williams in the semifinal match and the King of the Hill, the only person ever to be in this position. What are your primary thoughts as you go out there to try to win the tournament?
Well, Bo, let's go out there and try and make a real good shots the first match and try and get to Steve Hoskins today, because I think I have a chance to win the tournament and the King of the Hill today.
All right, he's tuned in for $56,000, Chris. Let's see what happens.
All right, the family's here to support him because they live in nearby Fort Worth. And Walter Ray, there's that smile. College graduate, Walter Ray Williams, Jr., Dave D'Entremont, trailing by 53, 8th frame, spare up.
David, Chris just can't get on track.
No.
Great record. Last year, he was #2 in cashes on the Professional Bowlers Tour. He cashed in 25 tournaments. Ferraro, the Player of the Year, #1. So David is a solid, steady player.
That's right, earning $113,000. Next Saturday, the world's best bowlers know a good deal when they see one. That's right, they head to Peoria, Illinois to bowl for a $210,000 purse at the True Value Open at Landmark Lanes. That's next Saturday. We return to our regular time at 3 Eastern and Pacific, 2 Central, right here on ABC. All right. Nice but late.
Final score is the only thing we need to look for, as D'Entremont has a nice reaction to a perfect shot, which is the first one of the game on the left-hand lane.
Little body English by Walter Ray Williams, Jr. Here's a player. We keep rating how good he is. He has 13 second-place finishes in his career. So,
well, I think it started working on his mind, Chris. He was a solid player in 85, 86, then Player of the Year, won a bunch of championships in the late 80s, and all of a sudden he's gone into this non-winning type slump, although there's no specific reason.
leaving a 610 on the left lane.
Well, he has this match locked up. He'll be 226 with a spare. He'll go on to meet Ron Williams, and I think Ron's going to give him a heck of a battle because Ron has the same type of shot. D'Entremont, solid paycheck, 4th place.
10,000. And nice smooth. We were watching closely because when Walter Ray came back, he held his back with his left hand above his left kidney. I wonder if he sprained something on the previous shot.
Well, he has somewhat of an awkward release. If you look at the replay that Larry Cam gave you of his profile, in his 3rd step, he looks like a bird getting ready to take off. So he could pull a muscle trying to get everything lined up for that semifinal shot.
All right. There is a 226 for Walter Ray Williams, Jr. He is the winner, and he moves moves ahead as ABC Sports presentation of the Professional Bowlers Tour will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
What? Look, time is money, and I don't have time for plain flakes. Please, put something in here, will you, for Pete's sake? Maybe jelly. What? All right, I'll give it a shot. Tastes good. Good. Good and crunchy. It tastes good just the way it is. No frills, no nothing.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Taste them again for the first time.
What?
Here's where Alka-Seltzer Plus fights tough colds, with tough congestion, tough aches, tough sore throat.
This is why you need a tough medicine. Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. The leading cold pill only relieves congestion, but Alka-Seltzer Plus relieves congestion, sore throat, sneezing, body aches. That's tough medicine.
You bet it's tough.
Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. It's tough medicine. For a cold with a cough, try Alka-Seltzer Plus cold and cough medicine.
Tuesday, will Coop be replaced by the corporate raider Marcus Allen?
My Heisman will go perfect there.
You're living in the past. And all new Hanging with Mr. Cooper right after Full House, Tuesday.
You're about to see the power of subliminal advertising.
Now, can you name bowling's hookingest and bashingest ball? It's the Rhino Pro line in several distinctive urethane formulations to improve any game. Catch the Rhino Pro at one of these official Rhino Pro shops.
You gotta hit the ground running.
You want a truck as tough and as good looking as you are? You want the #1 seller, Ford. Tough on the outside, comfortable on the inside. If you got more style than the next guy, move on up to a flare side. Ford backseats truck with a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty. Get cash back for a limited time. Hit the ground running at your local Ford dealer today.
Now, get a combined savings of $1,600 on F-Series at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
How sexually savvy are mid-state teens? Monday at 11.
The Professional Bowlers Tour, brought to you by Quaker State. The Big Q is one tough motor oil. By Pepto-Bismol, the one that coats is the only one you need. And by Kellogg's, the best to you each morning.
I think over the years you've heard us talk about Larry Lickstein, the Players Service Director, one of our cherished friends and so valuable to the tour. All of us were saddened yesterday with the announcement of the death of his wife, Ann. So we send our condolences, saddened by the death at such an early age of Ann, unexpectedly, at age 41. We're sorry. All right, match 1, 226 with 7 strikes. Williams the victor over Dave D'Entremont, 164. So now, the king of the hill, Ron Williams. Here, that's coming up. You saw a little flick in there that, yes, the Skins game does follow our telecast. That's a little over an hour from now. But right now, game number 2, Walter Ray Williams, first shot. Off with a bang.
Well, I think Walter Ray is going to have a little more competition in this match than he did against Dave D'Entremont. Williams on a roll, Ron, that is. 4th consecutive championship appearance. 2 as a King of the Hill, 2 in the championship round.
Come on, baby, here. Yeah.
And as Ron said, whether you like it or not, you're going to see him twice today.
Ron Williams, the style we've become familiar with, has that 4-step delivery and pushes that ball out, straight out. Look at this. At this point here, the ball's away from his body. Now, as he comes down through the downswing, he's going to drive it straight through, right next to his left foot, loft the ball well over the foul line. Look at that hand underneath the ball, and Chris Schenkel, nothing beats confidence.
Okay.
Carry.
And Ron is one of those that feels the Cowboys have enough confidence and ability to win the Super Bowl tomorrow. As for his opponent in my poll of Super Bowl choices, Walter Ray Williams of Stockton, California, says the 49ers will win. So, you know, he really is neutral.
Walter just didn't have a good feel on the ball, just backed off and make sure he gets a solid feel here in the second frame.
Oh, yes. Though you need to get strikes like that to be champion many times, right?
I agree, Chris. As you'll watch this replay of the power strike of Walter Ray Williams. Ball impacts the 1-3, tilts the 5 out, the 4, the sideboard takes out the 7. All the good players can carry the light hit. Walter Ray looks excellent today.
Didn't trip the 4.
Now that's a hit that the intermediate bowler would carry a lot. The high hit with a lighter bowling ball, a 10 or 12-pound bowling ball. However, with the pros using the full weight, 16 pounds, pretty sharp delivery, that's a hard to carry. Now, Walter Ray uses the full grip, just barely sticks those fingers in, has that glove on for a little better gripping purposes, and throws a straight shot at the spinger.
Remember that the winner of this, our second match, will meet the tournament leader, a non-winner named Steve Hoskins from Tarpon Springs. Then, the winner will meet Ron Williams. But if Ron wins the tournament, it'll be Mike Albee as his opponent.
A lot of possibilities.
Boy, oh boy. Ron Williams' wife, Bonnie, reflected earlier today on the effects of her husband's recent notoriety.
Well, as far as myself, it's affected us a great deal. I know that I've heard from a lot of old friends lately, and a lot of people that I work with and my family. It's been very exciting for all of us, and we've had a lot of interaction with a lot of people that we haven't heard from in quite some time. As far as the boys, it's been very exciting for them. All of their friends have been involved, and they're having a good time with it as well.
Bonnie and 2 sons, Sean and Scott, and young lady, lovely lady, that works for a hotel as a sales exec.
Little extra speed by her husband Ron on this ball, doesn't finish enough, and leaves the 10-pin.
Wearing the University of Texas orange. Okay, from the Forum Bowl, we take leave, but be right back.
You know, I've messed up on a few relationships in my life, but there's one that's lasted over 35 years with a lot of help from Quaker State. It's tough on wear, tough on sludge. So Quaker State and I are planning on a meaningful relationship with my new car. So why don't you do the same with your new car's engine, and Quaker State will guarantee it for 250,000 miles or 10 years in writing. You think if I gave Lonnie the Quaker State deal, she'd give me the same guarantee? Quaker State is one tough motor oil.
A puzzle. With so many stomach remedies around, how do you know which you can take for heartburn? And for diarrhea? And for upset stomach? You take Pepto-Bismol to relieve most any common stomach problem: heartburn, upset stomach, and diarrhea. So who needs anything else? That is a puzzle. Pepto-Bismol's the only one you need.
How's this for value? 2 championship matches all in one show. It's the True Value Open next Saturday on ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour.
The Williams boys are going head-to-head. They are not related. One's from Texas, one's from California. The one from California has a 10-pin lead. Walter Ray Williams leading Ron Williams. Walter Ray opened with the double, spare now in the 4th frame. Second match for him today. Well, I knew they were not related, but I had the score reversed. Okay, Bo.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Steve Hoskins, our tournament leader here at the Quaker State. Steve, you once told me that you have so much power that you really don't have to be a real accurate player. You feel that's your primary weapon here going in the championship match?
Not really. First couple weeks of the year, I worked with John Jowdy. He's trying to free up my arm swing at my shoulder. And the fact that my arm swing got free today, or all week, actually, allowed me to bump the ball to the right without actually forcing it and hitting up on it. And that was a huge key. And Johnny Petraglia worked with my mental game a little bit, just as a reminder, and worked out well.
All right, Chris, he's confident in his power, but he feels like he can stay loose and win the championship. Back to you.
All right, going for the 10 pin, Walter Ray Williams Jr. With a strike, he could have tied it, but marked with a spare instead. Now up is Ron Williams, the leader, has a spare working, shooting in the 5th frame. Ron is 5'11", 175. He won our first tournament of the year, the AC Delco Classic in Torrance. And as the King of the Hill challenger, he defeated Parker Bone and followed it up with a win over Mike Albee last week.
On a roll. And he liked to roll the ball very well here on lane 39. It's the key lane. Ron Williams, very simple player, plays on the right side of the approach. He's going to drift a little bit, and he's going to be right over the second arrow. Here we go. Needs a little extra loft and speed to hold the line on the key lane.
Finished second here in 1987 in the Quaker State Open, losing to Brian Boss.
Boy, is he throwing that ball well. Every ball clean off his hand, and he's got Walter Ray pushing here in the 6th.
Four-pin.
Walter Ray lost to all the TV finalists, or championship round finalists, in the 24-game play. Now, Walter Ray playing a very simple line right around the second arrow. He's going to roll the ball right here, and he throws the ball a little bit to the left of his target, just inside the second arrow, leaves the 4-pin.
Trailing by 21, he needs to crank it up a bit because it is the 7th frame coming up. And coming up next, live on ABC Sports, 4 all-time greats meet in senior golf's most entertaining event. Arnold Palmer will try to defend his title against Jack Nicklaus, Raymond Floyd, and Chichi Rodriguez. Senior skins game. Coverage begins next, live. That's when it's fun. We're live at the Forum Bowl in Grand Prairie, Texas. Pressure on, Walter Ray Williams.
Well, Chris, there was a mistake that Walter makes that really is almost a rookie mistake. He was thinking about where he had been, like the 4-pin last frame, and not where he's going with that shot. So kind of gave away a shot here and a real opening for Ron Williams.
Oh, no. After that booming 226 first game victory over Dave D'Entremont, let's replay.
Once again, it's a mental state at this point of Walter Ray Williams. Supposed to be the best spare shoot on the tour. Makes a major mistake letting the 6 slide in front of the 9. He has opened the door.
Really disgusted. Hot. Angry. We'll be back after this.
I just love raisins in cereal.
I'm afraid you don't.
If I say I like raisins, I do.
No, I really don't think so.
Yeah, well, what do you call this, pal?
Not this.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran?
Hey, if you really loved raisins, you'd be eating Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
So, you really think you got something here, eh, buddy?
2 scoops of our sweetest, plumpest, juiciest raisins.
What was I thinking?
Kellogg's Raisin Bran. If you love raisins, this is your cereal.
Now on, there's 2 scoops, eh, Duke?
Ninjas do 2 things very well. They react. And they attack. Nothing blows them away like a ninja. The AMF Ninja, available today.
If you think this is a disciplined sport, you have to see them let loose. The U.S. champions take the ice in special performances today on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Here in Texas, a 24-year-old Floridian tournament leader, Steve Hoskins. He's up next.
And he's exciting, Chris. Probably the biggest hook ball, if you can believe that, of any player I've ever seen to lead a tournament. In fact, the players around here were calling it the bungee ball. Starts it from the left channel to the right channel and back to the pocket. However, his opponent is yet to be decided. Here's Ron Williams, 7th grade.
Oh, baby, yeah.
Zeroed in. That zeroing in started with our first tournament, the AC Delco Classic. He shot a 279.
Well, Chris, he just bowled so well there at the AC Delco. He had 27 strikes in a row in the qualifying for the championship round there at the AC Delco. Combined with that win has put him on a roll. You see him using the full grip, fingers in just to the first knuckle. Good loft, good turn. And a lucky result.
The 3-pin.
That's bad. Chris, we've seen it for years when a player's on a roll. As you see Ron Williams, everything good happens. You make a bad shot, you end up with an easy spare. When things are going bad, you make a bad shot, you end up with an open. Here's Ron Williams. Simple spare, maintains a 44-pin lead.
And the leading money winner on tour thus far, $43,330. Walter Ray has earned $16,003 coming into this. He's going to make some money today, like 12.5.
Well, you could hear the effort from the microphone that Walter is wearing. When he released that ball, you could hear the and all of these players look very smooth. They use a lot of energy in their legs and their arms as they snap that lift on the ball.
8th frame spare for Walter Ray Williams. Tomorrow on ABC Sports, it's regional action on Pizza Hut college basketball. You'll see the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame head west to battle their longtime rivals, the UCLA Bruins, or in a key ACC matchup, the Florida State Seminoles host the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Action begins tomorrow live at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific time, ABC Sports. And our stage manager, Tom Gatewood, Notre Dame All-American football player. Just let me know that he'll be cheering the Irish tomorrow. Why not? He better.
Here's a man who's been the top player so far in the 1993 season. He has this match well in hand. He just needs 2 marks to lock out his opponent, Walter Ray Williams. And boy, is he loose.
Bonnie's trying to be casual and calm. I don't think she is.
Well,
oh yeah, that helps.
Harry.
So, wonderful gesture, Walter Ray Williams, congratulating our second game winner, our reigning king of the hill, Ron Williams.
Well, Ron has a possible 258. He's locked up this semifinal match, and this final is going to be interesting. He'll be 247, Chris, with a spare. But just to set up his opponent, Steve Hoskins last night, in his last 8 games as he took the tournament lead, had a low game of 243 and averaged 257. He's going to give Williams all he can handle.
And remember, Steve Hoskins wants that first PBA title. Ron has 3. Walter Ray now.
Just finishing out a potential 214.
Oh, he's going to finish 3rd. Second appearance, 2nd in 4 telecasts, Bo.
He's off to a really good year. He will find 3 or 4 players this year that have been real close. Walter Ray has made the championship round twice, and he will win this winter. There's no doubt. He'll get back on that real good roll. He shot a 203 game here with a conversion to 4-pin. Not enough today, but don't ever cast this man out. One of the great natural talents in the sport.
5-time world horseshoe pitching champion. He'll still get that Chinese food from his friend Paige. Yes, this week, Choice Hotels International's Tip of the Week features Dave Sutar with a higher stance.
ABC Sports presents a winning never gets old bowling tip, sponsored by Choice Hotels International. Here's bowling great Dick Weber.
Today's tip features PBA Hall of Famer Dave Suchar. Dave, as you got older, you developed an arm string because of the technique you used earlier in your career.
When I was younger and more powerful, I was able to hold the ball down by my side and carry the weight in my arm. Through many years of bowling like this, I developed an arm problem. I developed tendonitis in my arm, and I had to find an easier way to bowl.
Well, how did you alleviate this problem?
Well, I started by holding the ball waist high and holding the weight between both my hands. This way, I could push the ball out much easier and get a great follow-through.
Well, simple changes like this one from Dave Suchar can add many additional years to your bowling enjoyment. And remember, winning never gets old.
Look for more ABC Sports Winning Never Gets Old bowling tips, sponsored by Choice Hotels International.
There are gut balls and gutter balls, and sometimes the trophy falls. But no matter what, you'll love the bowlers who have it all on ABC Sports Home Video, Bowling the Perfect Game. Call 1-800-4ABC-VCR to order bowling's colorful history, narrated by Chris Schenkel and Nelson Burton Jr. This collector's home video can be yours to enjoy for only $14.98 plus $3.95 shipping. That's 1-800-4ABC-VCR.
You know, I'm always teaching bowlers how to put fingers into the shot, not just the ball. But you can also use your fingers to save money. If you're 50 or over, just call 1-800-4CHOICE, and you can save 30% at Choice Hotels like Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep. 30%. Now that's what I call aiming for the pocket.
Travelers 50 and over save 30% at any of the 7 brands in the Choice Hotels family.
They ate the same things, got the same heartburn, but his antacid is very different. His Tums has calcium. Most antacids don't. Original Rolaids uses an aluminum salt. These two use aluminum and magnesium. Of all these, only Tums helps wipe out heartburn and gives you calcium you need every day.
Something my body needs anyway. I like that.
For heartburn plus gas, Tums makes an anti-gas antacid too.
All right, we await the start of the final for the Quaker State Open. Our first match today, Walter Ray Williams Jr., red hot 7 strikes, defeated Dave D'Intremont 226 to 164. Then he met another Williams named Ron, our king of the hill. Ron was too much today, 247 to 203. So now it's Ron Williams going against the non-winner from Tarpon Springs, Florida, Steve Hoskins. 5 feet 5 inches tall, low center of gravity. As we look at 2 neat guys, Scott Chickering. He is Quaker State Vice President of Marketing, and Ron Anderson, Quaker State Promotions Director. Love bowling, and they love auto racing. And we agree with, we love them both, too.
Chris Schenkel, a 160-man field. Solid average, 215 this week, 224 to make the top 24. Here's some of the other players that finish 5th through 24th. You see Mark Thayer there in the background, had a good check this week of 8,000. Pete Weber made a late charge. Mike Shady watching his game. Mazda on the comeback trail. Ron Palumbi will be up for the flagship open in Erie, Pennsylvania in about a month. Big Bob Spalding. Dave Watka from Las Vegas. Gusby, everybody's pal, going for the Good Guy Award this year. Hall of Famer, our Firestone champion Mark Williams right up there. Brian Berg, 24th. And Dale Eagle, 47 years old. Finished 25th, and the True Value's up next week, Chris. $200,000 for a perfect game at the True Value Open in Peoria next week from Landmark Recreation. And then to my hometown for the Hall of Fame Championship, $250,000. Should be an exciting tournament.
It will be. Both of them. You see a lot of old friends, Ray and Bill Becker in Peoria. Gary Baltz of the Hall of Fame in St. Louis.
2 different styles in this match. Ron Williams, we don't have to say how hot he is. He's the hottest thing in bowling today, going for his 2nd title of the year against a man who's never won a PBA championship.
All right, he had 8 strikes in that last victory. starts again. The big X. Here he is, Steve Hoskins. Wife Lisa, baby Lindsay. Years old. Very nice. You're right about the hook, Bo.
Well, when I first saw Steve Hoskins, I called it the rainbow ball, but now the players have named it the bungee ball. As you see him standing to the extreme left, wrist cocked. Look at how intense he is on that target. Now look at that head. Now look at this position, almost like Monticelli. And here's one of the keys. See how that pivot step is driving straight towards the target, sliding to the left side of the lane, and keeps his head steady through the shot. A good high follow-through. Excellent first shot to start the championship match.
All right. Putting the pressure now on our King of the Hill and the man that wants to get the Quaker State title. Watch his reaction.
Strong arms, confident look on his face. Looking for his first title against Ron Williams.
Get lucky. Come on. Yeah.
All even after 2 frames, 4 strikes. You know, for the past 17 years, proceeds from the Quaker State Open have benefited Texas Scottish Rite Hospital for Children. Great facility, helping youngsters where parents do not have to pay, Bo.
That's great, Chris. Pro Bowlers Tour has raised over $200,000. You heard Williams say get lucky in the second frame as you see that tight grip. He slipped a little bit on the approach. He did get lucky. Let's see if he can capitalize.
Leaving a 10-pin.
Interesting watching Steve Hoskins react to that solid 10. When a guy's on a roll like Williams, it seems like everything goes good. Williams got a good break in the second, slipped. As you see Hoskins looking down at the floor and caught a strike. However, he made a great shot in the third and paid a penalty at the 10-pin.
All right, taking very little time. This man just reeks of confidence. And it started at the Gable Bowl in Torrance, California, when Ron won the AC Delco Classic.
He's got his hands full here. Big shot for Hoskins here. Needs to get out to an early lead with his inexperience over Ron Williams, who has tasted victory.
All right. There is Lisa, his wife. Steve was Rookie of the Year in 1989. He's been busy off the lane since then. Here's what he's been up to.
Well, I took some time off to go back to school, get a little college out of the way. As it turns out, I ended up getting married to a lovely lady and had a little baby, a little girl. It's been pretty good. It's changed my outlook on life totally, and I think I matured a lot from it.
Happily married couple. Leaving a 4-pin on the left lane.
Spare here. He'll maintain a 10-pin lead. Steve Hoskins, who, as he said, went back to school, is studying for a degree in the medical field. A great backup to that powerful bowling ball that he's using that hooks.
All right. I asked Steve about his pick in the Super Bowl, and he said he picks Buffalo, but likes the Cowboys. We'll be back.
Hi, Pat Summerall here at True Value, where the main attraction is personal service. Or is it low prices? Well, let's find out.
They do have sales, and you can tell it's a sale price. It's not just a few pennies. It's a real sale.
I like their quality and their service.
You look for that one star and you trust it, and that's where you go.
For personal service and low prices, bring your family to ours, the True Value family of stores.
Everything I needed to move into my new house, I bought right here.
Introducing a cereal from Kellogg's. Kellogg's Corn Flakes. Taste them again for the first time.
When these guys get teed off, the battle really begins. Four of golf's greatest play their sports big money showdown, the Senior Skins Game, next on ABC Sports.
Continuing our head-to-head match for the Quaker State Open title. King of the Hill, Ron Williams. Trailing by 10, spare up.
Gary.
Mike, he got his wish. Okay, Bo.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Mike Albee, let me ask you a very simple question. If Ron Williams wins this match, you got a chance to bowl for King of the Hill again. If he loses, you got nothing. So tell me who you're rooting for.
Well, I checked with Ron and his wife, so I want to make sure they had all their good luck charms with him, and so do I, so hopefully Ron.
All right, if Ron Williams wins, it'll be Mike Albee in a rematch of last week's King of the Hill Championship. We're doing it again here in Texas. If he doesn't, it'll be Ron Williams going against Hoskins once again.
Carry me.
Now we are tied. Ron Williams. The previous strike on the right lane, he's 7 for 7 on that lane today. Now, Steve Hoskins. He has a spare up, shooting in the 5th frame. Oh, what a break, what a big break. Taking out the 10-pin.
Well, there was two big breaks there, Chris. You'll see the first big break on his bowling ball. Look at him send this ball wide, almost out to the first board, and look at how deep he is. He has to be 50 feet down the lane. The second big break actually came in a fortuitous type as the head pin came against the sideboard, knocked out the 10-pin, avoiding the split.
All right.
Now, the one chink in Steve Hoskins' armor has been his inability to fill frames, and yesterday he did not have an open frame in 16 games. No misses.
Later today, ABC's Wide World of Sports returns to Phoenix for a unique celebration of our newly crowned champions. Special exhibition performances from the United States Figure Skating Championships presented by Legs. Plus, a wild look at big wave wind surfing later today. Our bowling has had a special time today because of the Skins game, which follows us live. Wide World special time is 5 Eastern and Pacific, 4 Central, ABC Sports.
This match sets up very similar to our Phoenix Open match, where you had Parker Bone in a tremendous match against Monticelli, nobody making a mistake. Bone coming out on top in that match. This match has all those same signs.
Get up. That was not good.
Well, first time he hasn't gotten a strike on that lane.
It's been his good lane, Chris. A little bit firmer with the speed, a little bit later with the release. Caused the 10-pin. Second pin on the right-hand part of your screen. Watch it just pop up into the 10. Just doesn't get out of the channel. Once again, Ron Williams makes a spare. It's an even match.
Much today going to the Texas Scottish Rite Hospital for Children. Steve Hoskins. Ron Williams.
Hold it, ball, hold it.
For the Quaker State Championship, the match will continue after this.
Hi. You know why Quaker State asked me to be their spokesman? Because I'm tough. And Quaker State is tough, too. Tough on wear, tough on sludge. And if you use Quaker State in your new car's engine, they'll guarantee it for 250,000 miles or 10 years. In writing, Quaker State is one tough motor oil. So naturally they asked me, because I'm tough. I am tough, aren't I?
Ninjas do two things very well. They react. And they attack. Nothing blows them away like a ninja. The AMF Ninja, available today.
How's this for value? 2 championship matches all in one show. It's the True Value Open next Saturday on ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour.
It could hardly be more exciting. In the championship match here at the Forum Bowl in Grand Prairie, Texas, Quaker State Open. We are all even. And Bo, getting near the end.
And this is the key frame. Most often a player misses in the 7th frame. I've noticed that in the championship match all year long. Right now, Hoskins can take the lead if he strikes. Key frame. And he has a little momentary said I just wasn't ready. Thumb slipped a little bit in the ball. And I'll tell you what, that shows a lot of composure out there, Chris Schenkel, to be able to step back on a key shot like that. Let's see what happens. He's reset again.
Hey, what a gutty shot, too. Hanging on the edge.
Woo. You betcha. You really can't get much more on the ball as the 2 wives side by side. They have a vested interest in this. The young lady on the left, Bonnie Williams, and Steve's wife on the right, checking the scoreboard on the overhead. Right now, advantage Steve Hoskins by 10 pins through 7 frames.
For Steve, if he can win, $41,000. For Ron, if he can win, $41,000 plus a possibility at a $15,000 bonus in the King of the Hill match, which follows. Whew. Lisa loves it.
You just can't get any more on the ball than this young man is getting. He's got that wrist inside out, the swing inside out, the loft over the line, solid, and he's really put the squeeze on Ron Williams.
Harry, baby.
Yeah, and that double. Boy, in this match, they're made of the right stuff, aren't they, Bo?
That's for sure. Your buddy Chuck Yeager, I'm sure, watching in. The setup right now for Ron Williams is, you see Hoskins looking at the floor, is a possible 258. Hoskins a possible 268. So far in 1993, some of the great matches we've had in the last 4 or 5 years. We had one at the Phoenix Open for the championship. We got one right here.
Harry.
That's Randy Halsey leaning over, saying something to his mother, our hostess here. Now, there they are. And that's Brenda, his sister, right there.
Match even, 9th frame, Hoskins working on 3 in a row.
Here's a young man that's finished second twice in the state of Texas, Beaumont, and in Austin. Now here's another chance for him to get away from the runner-up spot.
I agree. His championship is in his own hands right now. If he can strike 2 more times, it's lockout of Ron Williams. If he doesn't strike, Williams can get up and win the championship. 42 games, 5 days, down to 1 ball.
Didn't send it quite as wide, though.
You got it, partner. Not as wide and not as enough speed, and he had never been in that position before, and he avoids the 4-6 split and comes up with a pretty easy spare of the 4-pin. What this sets up, after you see him break up this 4-6 split, is a possible 247 game. It's going to force Ron Williams to strike at least twice. Okay, here we go for the title. The key ball is a fill ball. He has to think about it. He can't be discouraged with that first shot in the 10th. Ron Williams knows he can't do anything about Steve Hoskins. He has to concentrate on his own shot. Hoskins needs to take his time here, make sure he gets a strike.
Big 245 for a man that averaged 231 for 42 games this week, Steve Hoskins.
And that 8 count makes it a lot easier for Ron Williams. Very simply the situation for Ron Williams. He needs a strike and 8 spare for the championship. Anything less, and he cannot win. Well, Chris, they looked bulletproof for 9 frames, and all of a sudden the 10th was the undoing of Ron Williams and the victory for Steve Hoskins. We're going to have a rematch in the King of the Hill. They're going to go right back at it with new champion Steve Hoskins against Ron Williams.
And that was a $20,000 shot. 41 to a winner, 21 to the runner-up.
And more for this young man who goes to the Firestone Tournament of Champions. He can't believe it. He bowled so well all week long. Last night in the final 8 games, his low game was 243. Bowls 245 out here today. Look out.
So Ron Williams, our King of the Hill, is still, he can make $15,000 if he wins his King of the Hill. And the challenger is Steve Hoskins, hugged by Lisa. All right, ABC Sports presentation. Now, the Professional Bowlers Tour will return after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Over the years, I've made a lot of trips back and forth to Vegas.
How's it going this trip, George?
The odometer was broken for over 50,000 miles, so I say we've got 300,000 miles on this car.
Hi, George.
I've had a longer relationship with this car than I've had with any woman.
Hi, George. How are you?
This beauty is a living example of what can be done with proper maintenance and AC Delco.
Hi, George.
AC Delco parts. It's like buying time.
I just love raisins in cereal.
I'm afraid you don't.
If I say I like raisins, I do.
No, I really don't think so.
Yeah, well, what do you call this, pal?
Not this.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran?
Hey, if you really loved raisins, you'd be eating Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
So, you really think you got something here, eh, buddy?
2 scoops of our sweetest, plumpest, juiciest raisins.
What was I thinking?
Kellogg's Raisin Bran. If you love raisins, this is your cereal.
No, there's 2 scoops, eh, Duke?
Saturday.
What could go wrong?
Bert's back in the world's biggest cross-country car race. And anything can happen. Burt Reynolds, Cannonball Run 2, Saturday.
Some days my minor arthritis acts up, and I really feel the pain. I used to take aspirin. Now I've switched to Advil. Advil relieves the pain in my stiff joints. In fact, 1 Advil is as effective as 2 regular aspirin. And Advil is gentler to my stomach. Maybe that's why doctors recommend Advil for minor arthritis pain more than any other brand. For my pain, I simply prefer Advil. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
You gotta hit the ground running. Hit the ground running this winter at your Quality Plus Ford dealer. Now is your best time to swing a great deal on the all-new 93 Ford Ranger, America's #1 compact pickup. You can get $500 cash back and get a stereo cassette, V6 power, a chrome rear step bumper, a sliding rear window, aluminum wheels, and more. Hit the ground running with the 93 Ford Ranger, the all-new leader in value at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Allison Alexander covers the Mid-State on 27 News.
And here in Texas, former Player of the Year, Walter Ray Williams Jr. defeated Dave D'Entremont 226 to 164 in the very first match. Walter Ray looked strong, but not strong enough for our King of the Hill, Ron Williams, in game number 2, 247 to 103. Then our non-winner, as tournament leader Steve Hoskins, steps in with 7 strikes, defeats Ron Williams 245 to 235, and that sets up our King of the Hill match, a rematch of the finals for the Quaker State Open. This is the way the money's distributed in the $200,000 total. 41 to Steve, 21 to Ron, Walter Ray, 12-5, and Dave the Entremont, 10,000. We're here at the Forum Bowl, and Super Bowl mania of the Cowboys right nearby their stadium. And right nearby is the home of Ron Williams, our King of the Hill. I want you to learn more about he and his wife, Bonnie. The reigning King of the Hill, Ron Williams, has his castle just down the road in nearby Fort Worth. And his family life is an integral part of Ron's career.
Traveling on tour affects the family life quite a bit. I mean, my wife works 10 hours a day and 12 hours a day sometime, and the kids are pretty much independent. They basically do what they really want to do, and we let them do what they want to do, and to a certain extent. And they're both good boys, and we trust them quite a bit. And that's what you have to do in a family situation as ours, because we're not together. We're not a family unit, as they so-called say, because I'm gone so much, 9 months out of the year, 8 months out of the year, and it's been good, and it's had its bad times and good times, but it's definitely working out for the better.
The best way to describe the highs and lows of Ron's career, you take each week and you just make the most out of it. There are going to be a lot of highs and there's going to be a lot more lows. And I remember when I first met Ron, a famous bowler, Billy Hardwick, had told me that there are going to be a lot of highs and lows in a bowler's career, and you need to make the very most out of the highs and just get through the lows, and that's what I try to do. I just try to be very supportive and tell Ron, you know, there's always next week.
And Bonnie, and sons Scott and Sean. And Dad's going to be in another match. He's been with us since day one when he won the AC Delco Classic, Nelson.
You're right, Chris, and a great attitude that family has is Ron Williams is really up for the bonus this week. He's won 2 matches. If he wins this one, he gets $5,000 plus the $10,000 bonus. And looking on down the line, if he could defend this week and a couple more weeks, it would be $20,000 bonus. Chris, it's going to be interesting to see if Ron Williams can come back in the King of the Hill match after the disappointment of not striking to win the Quaker State title.
Yes, that was a big 245, 235 match, and Ron Williams, with his Texas orange shirt now, gets to bowl again, be his 3rd game of the afternoon. 1 victory, 1 loss to the man whose hand he just shook, Steve Hoskins, for the King of the Hill title. Could mean $5,000 for Steve, $15,000 for Ron.
Well, the trouble with defeating Ron Williams in the King of the Hill has been Ron's been bowling very good, plus the players have been getting off to a bad start. Let's see if Steve Hoskins can do a little bit better than Ron's other opponents.
No, high hit, 3-6.
And as our producer, Carol Letty, says, I jinxed him again. And well, that has really been the thing. It's been a letdown for a player, taking a little break and not concentrating on this King of the Hill. But when you realize if you could get a hot hand like Ron Williams has in the King of the Hill, you can make $255,000. Players, when they realize that, won't have a letdown. But there it is again.
A lot of pressure in that Quaker State Championship match for this non-winner, no question.
Well, Hoskins went all day yesterday and the championship match today without missing a spare. Here he starts off the King of the Hill match, missing the 3-6. Opens the door.
I don't know, Bo. Maybe that hug was too long. Lisa.
Never too long from somebody you love, that's for sure. Ron Williams would have liked to have that shot he just rolled there in the 1st frame, in the 10th frame of the title game here for the Quaker State title. That one cost him $20,000 by not striking. However, what a great shot in the arm he got when Hoskins opens this to start the match. Williams would like to capitalize and get out to an early lead with a double.
He does that. And it's amazing how the 2 wives, Lisa and Bonnie, are having this animated conversation between shots. Look at this. Fabulous.
So where are you going to spend your $20,000 next week? Steve Hoskins, I watched him all day Thursday, all day Friday, and I didn't see him have back-to-back frames as disastrous as he started out here. He needs to get the ball to the left of the 4-pin and slide it into the 10. A very tough shot for his big hook ball, but he has to go for it in this one-game match.
I'll tell you, for a young 24-year-old, winning his first title, a big one, the Quaker State Open, and $41,000. What a feat in his 6-year PBA career. Yet he was out 20 months, returning last fall. There you see behind Ron Williams, Jeannie Halsey, our host here, and has been for 19 years at the Forum. Chandeliers, crystal chandeliers above. Why not? More like it.
Ron Williams in this championship pair had the highest average among the finalists today. He averaged 253 for his appearances during the week and 235 in the championship match. Starts with 2 in a row.
Get the hit.
All right, leaving the 10.
What causes a player to leave the 10-pin like that, which looks like an apparent good shot, especially amateurs should learn this, is when you turn the ball too quickly. Most players, even the top pros, have a tendency to want to, what we say, get on it too quickly, turn it, and the ball doesn't get quite the finish. As you see, the grip of Williams kills the shot across lane for the spare.
Ron Williams, who's been on every telecast this year, 4 in a row, could be a candidate for distraction. Here's what he said.
At the beginning of the week, I don't even think about the King of the Hill. I go out and work each day by day and work as hard as I can in the tournament to get to the championship round like I did this week. And the King of the Hill is just an extra bonus for me, and I'm looking forward to the 3 in a row today.
Whoa, hold it.
3 strikes and 4 frames for the King of the Hill and a 31-pin lead. We'll be back.
I better keep my crown. For gassing up for the week.
And that was dinner for our favorite food critic?
Everything was wonderful.
Something else to drink, monsieur?
Yes. Make it a Bud Light, please.
I'm sorry, monsieur. We have run out.
Really? Well, that does change things a bit, doesn't it?
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Billy's Chili. Quaint atmosphere.
Is that a tip or did you just lose some change?
Charming service.
I'll never go back to denture pastes or powders again.
Here's why. C-Bond Denture Adhesive. 2 powerful adhesives in a soft, micro-thin seal bonds dentures to your gums. Can hold comfortably all day.
You'll never go back to pastes or powders again.
C-Bond.
Hey, I'm vain. Of course I'm vain. That's why I comb my hair the way I do. I stay in shape the way I do. That's why I use Power Stick.
50% more wetness and odor fighters per stroke. Power Stick by Fabergé. Power that won't let you down.
I told you I was vain.
The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame meet longtime rival UCLA for regional coverage of Georgia Tech at Florida State. Live Sunday on ABC Sports.
In from Akron, Commissioner of the Professional Bowlers Association, Mike Connor. He brought Patty with him, brightening the scene.
Steve Hoskins trailing by 31. 4th frame can cut the lead of Ron Williams to 21 with a strike.
Okay. Early in the game, we haven't reached the halfway point yet of this King of the Hill match. Here's the man that won $41,000 a few moments ago.
The bungee ball, starting from the left corner, going between the 2nd, 3rd arrow, hanging right on the edge. Steve Hoskins has the maximum you can get. Reminds me a lot of Bob Vespi with a little more speed. And Hoskins can string them together. Don't count him out in this match. Hello.
Difficult to count the pins.
It's difficult to hit the head pin and get 4 pins.
How do you do that?
Well, you cut right through the middle, but how do you make it is get the ball over here in the 3-6 zone and drive the 3-pin over here into that 4-7 area and hope. Got a chance.
So for the Quaker State champion, it's another open frame.
This is where Ron Williams has been so good. When his player or opponent gives him an opening, he just puts him away immediately. Let's see if he goes right for the juggler here.
Gary.
Well, if we were to form a PBA football team, I think I'd have Ron Williams as a running back, and the blocking back would be Steve Hoskins.
You got it. Right now, Ron Williams can put a leg up on that $15,000 King of the Hill check.
Period.
And we'll hope that his Cowboys do as well tomorrow. What do you think, Nelson?
Buffalo all the way, Chris. I have to go with Tom Gatewood, former New York Giant player. He says he picked Dallas and Buffalo to make it, and he says that Buffalo and the points is the bet. I don't know who's going to win the game. Buffalo and the points, pal.
Forum and Grand Prairie.
The odds of Steve Hoskins winning this match all lie in the 7th frame here. He must strike. He has a possible 218 with that powerful strike ball. He can string them together. But this is a must frame, as all the rest of them will be for Steve Hoskins to possibly take over the King of the Hill title.
Now, Ron Williams. Had only one spare. Best strikes now in the 7th frame. This man, a few words.
Commanding lead. Just fill the frames and he'll win the match. However, any opening frame here in the 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th will give Hoskins a chance.
All right.
Once again, Ron Williams going his 3rd consecutive King of the Hill title. He became the first king by virtue of his AC Delco victory and has successfully defended it against Parker Bone, Mike Albee, and now Quaker State champion Steve Hoskins. If he does, that'll put him in a $10,000 bonus situation plus 5 for winning.
Whoa, whoa. Fall down this way. Come on. Almost got lucky. Free spot.
Well, the pin fell over, and it fell by the machine touching it, so the 6 pin must be reset on spot. Quickly, a mechanic in there. Replaces the 6. There is 12 inches between the base of both pins, the center to center. 1 foot, enough room to chop that 3 off the 6 if he makes a mistake.
Get them all.
Okay, the 2 Ys. The money in the King of the Hill is not official money, but it all totals up in the bank account for Ron Williams if he can go all the way. Today, he'll total $79,000 after only 4 weeks, Bo.
Not so bad. A different player these last 3 frames, Chris Schenkel, than we saw in the first 5 frames. I think didn't quite recover from the excitement of winning the Quaker State and his first title. But he still has an outside chance to dethrone King Williams, but he must keep striking. He's the second Floridian, Steve Hoskins, I think we're going to see a lot of. I saw Bob Vesby come out here last year, and he's still bowling well this year, win a couple of titles. Hoskins, another Floridian with the big, powerful ball, is going to be a man to contend with out here.
Yeah, baby. Nice frame.
Scoreboard tells the story. Ron Williams needs any kind of mark, and he is the King of the Hill champion, and that'll put 25,000 King of the Hill dollars in his pocket. 5,000 for his victory in Phoenix, 5,000 for his victory in Las Vegas, 5,000 here, and a $10,000 bonus, all on this shot.
Here he is. Oh, the Quaker State champion congratulates the King of the Hill. This is a native of this area. Big bonus, 15,000 for, remember, runner-up, he won 21,000. Boyer. Okay.
Point well made by producer Carol Eddy. You have to pay some after dues, Chris, as many appearances he's making on television. It'll be his 5th consecutive week next week at the True Value.
We'll join Bill and Ray Becker and all the gang at Landmark. And Bonnie is quickly up to congratulate her King of the Hill. Okay.
He's for the Fury next week. Oh, man.
High risk, high reward type ball that Steve Hoskin throws, but he was just having fun with that as he gets another unusual split, possibly his 4th open in this match. It's really a mute point as he'll try to go for the 3 pins and slide them over in the 2. But a good week for Steve Hoskins as he wins his first title.
You bet. Okay, there they are.
Nice job.
Standing room only crowd. King of the Hill continues to be Ron Williams, 246 to 179. We'll talk to him after this.
Oh, this dry skin itch. What can stop it fast?
You need lightning fast Lamicaine. Lamicaine starts working in a flash. Lamicaine cream actually works on contact with the itch nerves that cause every itch. This Vaseline intensive care can't. Jergens can't. These can't. And Lamicaine deep moisturizes to help heal rough, dry skin.
The itch is gone, and so fast.
For the fastest way to stop every itch, get lightning fast Lamicaine.
Come morning, I need a cereal that wakes me up and gets me going. These are just flakes. Just looking at it makes me want to snooze. Hold on a minute. Simple, wholesome, tastes good. Heavens, yeah. This could put some giddy up in my get along. What do you call it?
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes? You got me, didn't you? I hate that.
Taste them again for the first time.
You know, I've messed up on a few relationships in my life, but there's one that's lasted over 35 years with a lot of help from Quaker State. It's tough on wear, tough on sludge. So Quaker State and I are planning on a meaningful relationship with my new car. So why don't you do the same with your new car's engine, and Quaker State will guarantee it for 250,000 miles or 10 years in writing. You think if I gave Lonnie the Quaker State deal, she'd give me the same guarantee? Quaker State is one tough motor oil.
Okay, there's the money story today. The Quaker State Championship. Steve Hoskins. And the 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, of course, that includes Williams King of the Hill winning. And he's a happy fellow.
Oh, you betcha.
Back home.
Oh, yeah, it feels great to be back here in the home state and in front of the hometown crowd. And I'd like to say hi to everybody in Koki, Illinois. Thank you.
That's home. That's home where you were born.
My ex-hometown, yeah. This is home right here. Right here. Texas is my home. Go Cowboys.
Okay. Bonnie and the 2 boys, they were in there rooting like crazy today.
Yeah, they had a good time. I wish I'd got that 1 extra strike for the title, but I'll take King of the Hill and go on next week and see if I can keep going.
We'll see you at the Landmark Lanes.
I'll be there.
There he is, Ron Williams. Okay, what a day for this 24-year-old. Steve Hoskins, we're very proud of you in your first victory, a big one, the Quaker State Open.
I couldn't be happier. I'd like to thank Quaker State. They put on a great tournament here. I usually bowl well here, and can't bowl any better. It's ironic. I made a 4-pin to win a title. Yes.
Lisa liked that. Lisa has the baby. Come here. Let's meet the baby. Tell us all about her.
Beautiful. Little 6-month-old Lindsay.
Right
the two prides of my life.
Now, I got to make a point here. Jeannie Halsey and Quaker State, for all these years, have added over $200,000 to the Texas Scottish Rite Hospital for Children. You have a healthy child, and aren't we fortunate? The hospital has treated, at no cost to the parents, nearly 12,000 youngsters. Two are in the audience, Lisa and Carrie, along with Peggy Black and Amy Rainey.